Hello, and welcome. Tonight, we report on news that has cast a profound shadow across the globe, uniting billions in shared sorrow and quiet reflection. A major chapter in modern history, a papacy defined by firsts and marked by a unique connection with people both inside and outside the Catholic Church, has officially closed. Pope Francis, the 266th pontiff, the first pope from the Americas, the first Jesuit pope, has passed away. He was 88 years old. The news broke early Monday morning, April 21, 2025, sending immediate shockwaves rippling out from the heart of Vatican City. The official announcement came solemnly from Cardinal Kevin Farrell, the Vatican Camerlengo, speaking from the chapel of the Domus Santa Marta, the modest Vatican guesthouse where Pope Francis famously chose to live, eschewing the traditional grandeur of the Apostolic Palace. At precisely 7:35 a.m. Vatican time, Cardinal Farrell delivered the words the world was dreading, yet perhaps expecting given the Pope's advanced age and recent health struggles. At 7:35 this morning, the Bishop of Rome, Francis, returned to the home of the Father. His entire life, the Cardinal stated, his voice heavy with the weight of the moment, was dedicated to the service of the Lord and of His Church. Return to the home of the Father. The finality of those words marked the end of a remarkable journey, a papacy that began in 2013 and navigated some of the most challenging issues facing the modern world and the ancient institution he led. The timing of his passing carries a particular poignancy. It occurred on Easter Monday, just one day after Pope Francis presided over Easter Sunday celebrations. He had blessed a large crowd of Catholics gathered in St. Peter's Square for the holiest day on the Christian calendar, a powerful image of the shepherd tending to his flock right until the very end. On that same day, he also met with visiting dignitaries, including United States Vice President J.D. Vance. That meeting now takes on a somber significance. Vice President Vance was among the first world leaders to react publicly to the news, sharing his condolences on the social media platform X. "I just learned of the passing of Pope Francis," Vance wrote. "My heart goes out to the millions of Christians all over the world who loved him." Then, Vance added a detail that underscores the Pope's visible frailty in his final hours: "I was happy to see him yesterday, though he was obviously very ill." That observation, that the Pope was clearly unwell even as he carried out his duties, paints a picture of dedication and perseverance in the face of declining health. As news alerts flashed across phones and television screens worldwide, an unprecedented wave of tributes began to pour in, not just from world leaders and religious figures, but also, significantly, from the glittering, often secular, world of Hollywood. This outpouring from actors, comedians, designers, and directors speaks volumes about Pope Francis's unique ability to transcend traditional boundaries and connect with people from all walks of life, resonating far beyond the confines of the Catholic Church. Leading the charge was actress, comedian, and host of The View, Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi shared a particularly personal and insightful tribute on Instagram, reflecting a connection deepened by having met Pope Francis not once, but twice. Her first meeting was in 2023, and the second came just last year, in 2024, when she joined a delegation of over 100 comedians from around the world for a special, and frankly groundbreaking, audience at the Vatican. Imagine that, at the Pope hosting comedians, seeking dialogue with artists known for satire and social commentary. Whoopi's words captured what many saw as the essence of Francis's papacy, his inclusive spirit. "He was the closest in a long time," she wrote, reaching back into papal history for a comparison that seemed to remember that Christ's love enveloped believer and non-believer. That is a powerful statement, acknowledging his effort to embrace humanity in its entirety, regardless of faith. She continued, "He felt more like Pope John XXIII, another pontiff remembered for his warmth and efforts to modernize the Church, who made belief real." For Whoopi, Francis wasn't just a figurehead, he was someone who embodied faith in an accessible, tangible way. She concluded her heartfelt message with a farewell, "Sail on Pope Francis, with your love of humanity and laughter." Highlighting his love of laughter, noted after meeting him alongside fellow comedians, adds a touchingly human dimension to the often formal image of a pope. Whoopi wasn't alone in feeling this connection. Oscar-nominated actor Antonio Banderas, himself a global star hailing from Spain, took to Instagram to honor the man who made history as Latin America's first pontiff. Banderas posted a poignant message recognizing the significance of Francis's background and focus. Pope Francisco has died, Banderas wrote, using the Spanish spelling of the Pope's name, subtly acknowledging their shared linguistic roots. He praised Francis as a man who, at the head of the Catholic Church, showed kindness, love, and mercy to the neediest people. Banderas's tribute zeroes in on the social justice aspect of Francis's papacy, his consistent emphasis on caring for the poor, the marginalized, and the forgotten, themes that resonated deeply across Latin America and the world. Across the globe, another Hollywood heavyweight, Russell Crowe, known for his powerful performances, offered a simple yet profound message on X. Crowe, who had visited Rome recently, wrote, "A beautiful day in Rome, but a sad day for the faithful. R.I.P. Francis." His words capture the bittersweet reality, the beauty of the eternal city, now overshadowed by the loss felt by millions of believers worldwide. It's a sentiment echoing in countless hearts today. Actress and producer Eva Longoria, a prominent voice for Latino representation and advocacy, also shared a deeply personal tribute. She posted a cherished photo of herself meeting Pope Francis, a visual testament to the connection he forged with diverse communities. Her accompanying message was filled with gratitude and admiration. "Rest in peace, Your Holiness Pope Francis," Longoria wrote. "Thank you for being an ally to many of us and speaking up for the marginalized." The word ally is incredibly significant here. For Longoria to describe the leader of the Catholic Church as an ally underscores Francis's perceived willingness to listen to, and advocate for, groups often overlooked or excluded. She concluded, "Your compassion, kindness and humility will always be remembered." These three qualities, compassion, kindness, humility, appear again and again in the tributes, painting a consistent picture of the man behind the papal title. Even the high-fashion world paused to pay respects. Legendary designer Donatella Versace took to her Instagram stories, posting a classic photo of Pope Francis accompanied by the simple, elegant message, "Rest in peace His Holiness Pope Francis," adorned with dove and white heart emojis, symbols of peace and love, reflecting the sentiments he often preached. And from the realm of action heroes came a heartfelt tribute from Sylvester Stallone. The Rocky and Rambo star posted on Instagram, his words expressing simple, genuine admiration, "A wonderful, wonderful man. Rest in peace, Holy Father." The sheer warmth of Stallone's message, calling him a wonderful, wonderful man, highlights the broad, cross-cultural appeal Pope Francis seemed to possess, earning respect from figures across the entire entertainment spectrum. What do all these tributes tell us? They paint a picture of a pope who was seen, especially by those outside the traditional church structures, as refreshingly human, remarkably accessible, and deeply committed to compassion. Hollywood, an industry often seen as liberal and secular, found common ground with this pontiff. They saw in him a leader who prioritized mercy over strict dogma, dialogue over condemnation, and humility over grandeur, values reflected in his choice to live a Domus Santa Marta and his numerous gestures of solidarity with the poor and marginalized throughout his papacy. His willingness to engage with diverse groups, from comedians like Whoopi Goldberg to advocates like Eva Longoria, signaled an openness that clearly left a lasting impression. He wasn't just the Pope, he was, to many, their Pope, a figure who felt relevant and responsive to the complexities of the modern world. The passing of a pope is not just a religious event, it's a global one, marking the end of an era and triggering ancient traditions within the Catholic Church. With Pope Francis's death, the Vatican now enters a period known as the Sede Vacante, meaning the Holy See is vacant. Cardinal Kevin Farrell, in his role as Camerlengo, assumes temporary administrative control. The next major step, as outlined by church law, is the convening of a papal conclave. This secret meeting, steeped in centuries of tradition, will bring together cardinal electors, those under the age of 80, from all over the world. They will gather in the hallowed Sistine Chapel, sealed off from the outside world, to deliberate and vote for the next pope. This process is expected to begin within the next 15 to 20 days. The world will watch intently, waiting for that iconic puff of white smoke rising from the Sistine Chapel chimney, signaling that a new pope has been chosen. It's a moment of immense anticipation and speculation. Who will succeed Francis? Will the cardinals choose someone who continues his pastoral path, emphasizing mercy, inclusion, and social justice? Or will they opt for a different direction, perhaps prioritizing doctrinal clarity or a more traditional approach? The legacy of Pope Francis will undoubtedly loom large over the deliberations in that chapel. His papacy was one of profound consequence. He tackled difficult issues like climate change, economic inequality, migration, and internal church reforms. He traveled extensively, bringing his message of mercy and hope to millions. He made history simply by being who he was. Jorge Mario Bergoglio from Buenos Aires, a Jesuit priest who rose to become the Bishop of Rome, bringing a distinctly Latin American perspective to the papacy. Today, as tributes continue to pour in from presidents, prime ministers, monarchs, religious leaders, and ordinary citizens, alongside the surprising yet significant voices from Hollywood, the world reflects on the life and impact of Pope Francis. A man described by those who met him, like Whoopi Goldberg and Eva Longoria, as kind, compassionate, humble, and possessing a love for humanity and laughter. A leader Antonio Banderas praised for his mercy towards the needy. A figure Sylvester Stallone simply called wonderful. His death on Easter Monday closes a significant chapter. The Catholic Church, and indeed the wider world, stands at a moment of transition. The process to choose his successor will soon begin, ushering in a new era. A life dedicated to service, as Cardinal Farrell noted, has drawn to a close. Pope Francis leaves behind a complex and debated legacy, but also an undeniable record of reaching hearts far beyond Vatican walls, sparking dialogue, challenging indifference, and reminding many, as Whoopi Goldberg observed, of a love that envelopes believer and non-believer alike. The world mourns his passing, reflects on his journey, and awaits the signal of white smoke that will herald the beginning of the next chapter. That is the latest on this major developing story. We will continue to follow the events unfolding in Vatican City and bring you further updates as they become available. Thank you for joining us.